Okay, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about phasing in Stoneapp, and we're starting with this project 6181. We've got three areas. We've got kitchen, the kitchen perimeter, and the kitchen full height splash. We want to move those into various phases. So first thing to know is Stoneapp does a great job of tracking the entire scope of work. So everything is here in phase 0. You just click on this area, this green bar at the top. It reveals the entire scope of work. We call this phase 0. Now you can see all of these areas are currently in phase 1. By default, a retail job, builder, kitchen and bath, all those jobs default into phase 1. However, the commercial jobs, because typically they are so big and they are multi-phased, those default into phase 0. So you would not see something in phase 1. So the first thing we're going to do, just to clean this up a little bit, I'm going to name my phase. The first thing we need to do after we've talked to the builder, they need the kitchen island in. They're doing all of the plumbing and cooktop and all that stuff needs to be connected. So we're going to do that kitchen island first. That's what they're requesting. So we're calling this the kitchen island. And then we're going to add another phase. So I only do this when the customer says I'm ready, and we're going to be doing the full. In this case, we're going to be doing the kitchen perimeter. So I'm just going to make a note. That's what I'm doing. I'm naming the phase. By the way, we have another video on remake. This is exactly how you start the remake phase too. So I'm going to save this. Now we have a second phase. There's nothing in there, right? We have the entire scope of work here, 190, 190. So now I'm going to add a third phase in this example just because we want to show you how this works. So I'm going to go kitchen, full height splash. It's going to take place after we do the perimeter. So now we have our phases. I'm actually going to, because I'm here, it's yellow highlighted. You could tell we're in phase 1. I'm going to go to phase edit. And I'm going to take all of my areas out. Well, really, not all the areas. I'm going to take the perimeter and the full height splash and move them. I'm just going to release them. I'm going to move them back into phase 0 so you see how this works. So now I'm left with 100 square feet. That's just 120 by 120. 120 square feet of an island that's left here in the kitchen island phase. You can see that because P1 is the designation at the kitchen island. We still have the kitchen perimeter and the kitchen full height splash here. You got 190 square feet. You have 100 here. You have 0 and 0. So next, I'm actually going to click in the phase 0 field. I just click in the field. It highlights yellow. And I'm going to start phasing from there. So I'm going to go to phase edit. I'm going to select the kitchen perimeter. I'm going to move that phase into the kitchen perimeter, what we've named as the kitchen perimeter, or phase 2. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and move the kitchen full height splash into the kitchen full height splash, or phase 3. And now you'll see the distribution, the 40 square feet, the 50 square feet. While I'm here in phase 0, just so you know, if we had material, we don't in this case, if we had material allocated to the job. So if I go here, I'm going to look for in-stock material. There's one. Do I have anything else? Yeah, here's a couple. So let's say these are what we're going to allocate to the overall job. So now I go here. I'm still in phase 0. I pull these up, and I've got my reserved items here. When you know your programmers are programming for the kitchen island, they can take this full slab and say, this is the one we're going to use on the kitchen island. So they're going to leave that in phase 1. They can take this one, and they can select no phase. They're going to release that, and they're going to release this one, okay? Where they're releasing that. Now the NP means no phase. So you still have material reserved to the job. It's reserved here in phase 0. You have the one slab reserved to phase 1, okay? So now you get to phase 2. And notice that there's nothing here, right? So you can go back to your phase 0, and you can say, I want this slab here to go into my kitchen perimeter. So now you move this into your kitchen perimeter. And while we're here, we might as well move the other one into the kitchen full height splash. Okay, so you've got that as well. So we have this slab to phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. I'm going to, that's done at this point, and we're good to go. We just click and move on. So when we click here into phase 3, for instance, and we go to material, we open up our stock, we'll see that that material is allocated here. So no matter how big or small your project is, particularly commercial and how those commercial projects grow, or really large custom homes, you can phase and handle materials appropriately in each phase by using this strategy. And all of your job reporting, phase reporting, etc., will be intact. And you'll notice the reason to put them in phases, one last thing here, the reason to put them in phases is because you're going to be producing them at different times. They're going to be going through your production cycle at different times, and even perhaps billing at different times. So you're going to start your activities in each phase like you normally would. Once that's done, once you're ready to begin the next phase, you create your activities and move through those activities in the same way you would any project. Hope this helps. And thank you all for being loyal customers.